My name is Olivia Azzopardi, and this is my series of work called Function Paralysis. With this series of work, the fundamentals of it, I wanted to experiment with understanding how drawing can manipulate a three-dimensional surface and how it alters perspective, form and shape, and how the two are intertwined. With the drawing in comparison to the sculpture, the drawings is kind of more an unconscious reaction. So these pieces are really retrospective. I suppose it's a coming of age kind of narrative, and the hands is just kind of symbolizes the artist coming out in the pieces. So it's kind of like the creator or the kind of manipulating the surface in a really literal way. So clay, it's really malleable and it's really organic, so I wanted to control that and kind of manipulate it in that way. And then with drawing, it is a really kind of analytical process where you take time to think about what you're doing. So I wanted to kind of switch those two concepts around. With the patterning work, it's very unconscious. I'm just playing around with the kind of three-dimensional form and trying to like alter your perspective. With my sculptures, they all kind of respond to each other, having like shapes that kind of protrude out and then it kind of flows onto the next one. So they do have some kind of relationship to another, especially with the contouring of the shape and kind of like the fluidity as well. So I really wanted to try and make them very like individual, but also have a high connection to each other. So I guess like working in opposites with my whole series, I do try to like counterbalance two kind of themes. So with that, working with shapes, I didn't want to have like too much chaoticness in the pieces. So I still wanted to have a lot of like engineered form. It gave a lot of leeway to like working with perspective, which does bring a lot of, I suppose, intrigue into people's perspective. It wasn't a very planned series. It was all very much to do with the process and how the process created the outcome. So in that regard, you can see to the end, it's very simple and minimal and the shapes kind of define what they are. But when you go into the center, it becomes very chaotic and very multifaceted. So I guess it's kind of like that reflection of like the emotions of ebbs and flow of life and how we cope with that.